Welcome to Wager Talk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. We got a big day. Hope everyone is having a better day than Detroit basketball.
Come on,
Dan.
Andy. Come on, Andy.
Hey, I lost a bet on them too. I had their team total over, and I proceeded to watch Tobias Harris go over. I watched Jalen Duren cost himself literally millions of dollars with the next contract that he's going to get. An absolute just it's the worst time to put on one of your worst performances. But we don't have a worst performance at Wager Talk today. We're always bringing the heat. What we got on today's show?
Oh, absolutely, man. And we truly are always bringing the heat because in just a few moments, we're going to give you that Wager Talk Today play of the day. No sweat on the OnlyFans theory, Andy. So we cash another one. The free play that we give you right here to start the show each and every day, documented in the chat, 18-7. 18-7. So we got another free play coming your way in just a few moments, but also coming on your way on the show. Yanni the Greek, what are we seeing? The Eastern Conference Finals is set and the Western Conference Finals are set. What are we seeing value-wise in NBA? Is there some MLB action? NHL, we got a Game 7 tonight. We'll give you a play in that as well towards the end of the show. Yanni will let us know what we're seeing in action there. Then we got the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Krackman himself. He's got an NBA prop coming your way. We'll also talk conference finals with him. Steve Merrill's coming on. 2 MLB plays for you. White Sox, Mariners, Dodgers, Padres. We'll also talk conference finals with him. And then Andy and I got free plays all along the way. So make sure we hit the like button. And congratulations, folks. If you are tuning in to this show right here, you scored exactly the same amount from the field as Tobias Harris. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. All right, Andy, Wager Talk Today, play of the day time. Let's do it, brother.
All right, we got to go to the Canadians and the Sabres. I had a few plays that I was looking at, but in honor of Ross Benjamin and in honor of Carm and Andrew, we got a lot of rooting interest in this one. But there's a prop that is good enough to bet. It's got to be the play of the day. Bowen Byram over 1.5 shots on goal. This opened at plus 100. It's now down to minus 125. That's telling you a lot that this line is moving in our direction. So he's gone over in 5 out of 6 games this series, gone over in the last 4. 3 shot attempts or more the last 4 games. And here's what's key for me. No missed shots the last 4 games. So the accuracy is there. He's not firing a million shots and they're hitting, they're not hitting the goal. They're getting to the goaltender. And he's going over even when there are not a lot of shots on goal. So even when the Sabres don't have a lot of shots on goal for the game, he's getting over. So Bowen Byram, we've hit this several times. It's been a really, really good play. So I would actually love it if the Sabres advance and we could get this guy over his shots on goal. That's going to be the play of the day. Bowen Byram over 1.5 shots on goal.
Yeah, and this is one that you and I kind of discovered when we were talking with Ross about the Sabres. We were like, let's find a prop to throw Ross's way. And he was like, you know what? That Bowen Byram makes a hell of a lot of sense. And we've been cashing on it ever since. So last chance potentially to go for it. Let's ride tonight. Game 7, Bowen Byram over 1.5 shots on goal. Comment below. Let us know what your best bet is while you're down there. Like and subscribe. We're about 1,700 away, Andy, from being a 250,000 subscribers here on Wagers Talk TV. So tell your friends, folks. We would appreciate it. But let's get right into it, brother. With Yanni the Greek. Yanni, how we doing on a Monday, man? I'm liking that Hugo Boss shirt. Looking good, brother. Did he freeze?
Oh,
or did I freeze?
Yanni froze.
I got to get this internet fixed today. I was trying to
You're back.
Keep it. Yeah, I was trying not to pick up this new data plan for another week because I'm getting out of this hotel. I don't want to stay in this casino anymore. But the internet's giving me too much problems, so we're going to have to hook it up today. That's for sure. Because I just got too much to share, and I'm afraid the viewers aren't getting the best Wi-Fi connection right now. But I got a ton of info, Andy. I even got World Cup power ratings. The top 50 countries, my man said.
Yes.
From 1 to 50, he sent me. I swear to you. USA, not too exciting. They're about 35th. So I wouldn't get too excited about the USA. With that said, we have a game 6. I'll just dive in. Oklahoma game 6 in NHL with Montreal and Buffalo. Montreal was supposed to get it done in game 6. That didn't happen. Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at a coin flip type of game. Historically, Montreal was supposed to get it done in game 6. When they don't get it done in game 6, those teams tend to get it done more so than not in game 7, even though they're the road team, believe it or not. So interesting to see what transpires there. Sharps have been picking off plus 115s. So they're looking for Montreal at plus 115. And they also bet that one under 5.5. Now the public's going to bet it over, but it shows you game 7, they dropped that one down to 5.5 and juiced under, regardless how the series has played out. Now, moving on to the NBA, we have the best 2 teams in the NBA in the 2025-2026 season playing each other. Power rating wise, they are the best 2 teams remaining. Number 1 and number 2. Here's the analytics heading into this series. We have San Antonio, 4th offensively, 6th defensively, 24th strength of schedule. Oklahoma City, 3rd offensively, 4th defensively, 25th strength of schedule. They're almost identical on paper as far as offensively and defensively. The difference is the home field advantage for Oklahoma City. And they're one of those teams that have, in fact, the highest home court advantage, a little over 2 points. No other team home court is worth that. That's why you have Oklahoma City, the significant favorite in this series. In game 1, Sharps laid the 6 right away on Oklahoma City, and they went over. No surprise there. The public's going to bet the over also. They went over 218.5, 219, 219.5, and 220. Now, I wasn't surprised. Why? Because they played each other 5 times this year. The average closing total in those 5 games was 230. So they brought out the series first game about 12 points lower than their average. No surprise, Sharps got out ahead of the public and bet this one over. Now, the question is, are they going to steam the under? Is under the side? And they're getting an even better number. Because rest assured, to get it from 218.5 to 220 probably took about 3 nickel bets at max. That's all it took in the right account. Maybe $1,500 to get that moving in the openers. So be careful and pay attention to what the line does today. That's what's most important, because the betting public is going to get involved, and they're going to bet the over for sure. They're going to tease Oklahoma City. They're going to money line parlay Oklahoma City to the over, but they're going to take the points with the Spurs. Now, I don't mean to confuse you, but that's what I'm seeing so far in the back end. So far, if the game was going off in 5 minutes, the majority of point spread bets are on San Antonio, with a ton of teasers and moneyline parlays on Oklahoma City. So what does the book need? They need the game to stay under the 218.5 for them to wipe out all the teasers. All the parlays. For it to go under the 214s, 215s to wipe out all the teasers. And then they either need Oklahoma City to win this one by double digits, or Spurs to win outright. One of those two would be best outcome for the books. Again, game 1, public's on the over, a little more on the dog. In Montreal and Buffalo, public's a little more on Buffalo. They're betting the over. Sharps took the plus 115 and the under in the hockey game. Hope that got through with Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah. I think we got it pretty good. So they're hoping for like the middle, like they're hoping to get Oklahoma City to win by a basket or something. That's man. They got more courage than I do.
The thing is, if you're getting that's why they're in such an advantage as the book. You're getting 11-10. That's why they're in that comfortable position. Okay. Recreational bettors overlook how big of an edge that is. In fact, that small edge that forces us to lay 11 to win 10 is the reason 99.5% of bettors lose money long term. That's the number one reason. Forget lack of money management, forget placing bad bets, forget all that nonsense. The built-in edge makes it such an uphill battle that because they don't have to be right even half the time to make money. We have to be right more than half the time just to break even. That's a huge disadvantage we're at. That's why with the books, like regardless of the outcome, they usually do well, especially in the playoffs, because there's so much volume and all that volume's laying vig, whether you're doing teasers and you're laying 20 cents vig, whether you're doing parlays and you're getting the worst of it, whether you're laying 11 to win 10 on straight bets, that vig is what really builds up their profit. Like we think it's such a small thing. It's 10 cents on 100. What's the big deal? That is the difference maker between being profitable and not being able to make money. Because if they took that vig away, like rest assured, if we're just trading player to player, the result would be a lot different. It's that middleman taking that dollar out of every 20 bet, my 10, your 10, my 11, your 11, that it makes it so difficult. Again, not to go long on vig, but it really is the big equalizer for the books.
I want to kind of circle back to a couple things, but let's do Major League Baseball. We've got a really loaded slate.
Big slate.
I love this slate today. I normally only have like one play a day. I may find a couple that I get there. So what are you seeing? No early games on the Monday.
All right, there's a ton that I'm putting on the steam sheet, so I'll just read the ones off that have some follow through to them. Start off with Cincinnati plus 115 and 110. 954 Miami plus 110 and even money. That's why they're now the favorite. 963 Baltimore from plus 160 all the way down to plus 130 in 5-cent increments against Tampa Bay. So they're looking to fade Tampa Bay, which isn't surprising because, again, we talk about these teams in Major League Baseball, how they've come out, with these great records, winning about 70% of their games. And we all know that's just not sustainable. I mean, as we go into today, what is Tampa Bay? I think they've won. I'm pulling that up. Tampa Bay's won 67% of their games. When the season's over, I'm telling you right now, like a team like Tampa Bay that's sitting at 30-15, they won't win 60% of their games. Like when the dust settles because of that Eastern division being so difficult, this team will not win that many games. In fact, we have them projected to win 90 and lose 72. So we have them winning only 55%. That's what we have them projected at. And right now they're at 67. So no surprise to see the Sharps fading Tampa Bay. Also 967 Toronto from plus 175 down to plus 160. They're fading the Yankees there. And I'll give you a couple totals for you real quick. 978 under 10.5 and 10, Texas and Colorado. They went over 8.5 up to 130. Didn't go over 9 in that Yankees game. They stopped betting it. And then they went over 9.5 on the Mets and Washington, but not at 10. So that's some of the baseball action for you. Again, busy Monday, man, with playoff action, Major League Baseball action. No UFC this week, but we got plenty to cover for sure.
We got PFL, though. I will have PFL breakdowns, and we will most certainly have PFL plays. PFL has been very good. I want to get to World Cup a little bit, but recap UFC. Both you and I had really good. So I want to go over, hey, is the tide starting to turn here? Are we starting to see some winners? But I do have to tell you this story here, Yanni. On our live show, I don't know if you saw this. I think one person on social media found it. They're showing the opening of the Carano-Rousey fight. And we're talking about, like, is Ronda going to take it easy on Carano? Is this going to be a quick finish? Like, is she, like, how's this fight going to play out? Like, are they going to be buddies and they're going to wrestle for 2 rounds or whatever? And my buddy goes, hey, rewind that. What's Ronda doing? Ronda was practicing the opening sequence of her fight, what she was going to do. She literally had a female training partner, and her coach started the fight. Ronda throws a couple jabs, shoots, and goes for the armbar. Immediately, my buddy's like, we got to bet first round sub. That's what she's going for. And we hit it literally because we watched her practice her opening sequence, what she was going to do to Corrado, man. It was one of my favorite live bets I've ever seen.
That's awesome. I hope it is the turn. That's how I'm feeling it. Because listen, right now, if the year ended, I'd have a negative MMA year. And right now, like going back as far as here at WagerTalk and Combat Sports, going back to 2020. So that's 6 years. 3 of those times I've finished number 1 in profit. number 2 one of those times. So like 4 out of the last like 5-6 years have been really good in MMA. And like I said, if the year ended right now, I tell you when I win, tell you when I lose, and I'd be down units. So I'm kind of excited for what's coming. A little of the chalk cost me, and I think I've gotten a little bit unlucky because I got a ton of good closing line value. And that's what tells me I'm on the right path. Like as long as if I'm losing and not getting closing line value, then something's wrong. Something's really wrong. But if I'm getting closing line value on 2 out of 3 bets and I'm just not winning, I got it. That's something I just have to mentally get through because I know I'm getting the best of it. Like when it's kind of at the blackjack table, before the hand is dealt, whether you had the edge. And that's why it stings sometimes where like, dude, I had the advantage. I should have won that freaking hand and you don't. And it's kind of like that now with MMA, where I feel like as long as I'm getting good closing line value, I'm on the right path. And eventually, at times is on my side because I feel I have an edge, just like times on the side of the casino because they have a built-in edge. So yeah, I'm hoping the tides have turned for us, brother. And the next 7 months will be smooth sailing in MMA and we can pile on some profit.
All right. Last question about UFC. I am 100% with Seth on this one. Thoughts on McGregor and why should we empty our bankroll on Max? I can't make one argument for Conor McGregor, and yet the public is betting on him. And to me, this I don't know, Yanni. Am I wrong about this one? How is Holloway not win?
My first read was immediately on the Holloway side. Forget the activity that he's been more active. I just think the way they match up, I don't see a lot of disadvantages for the Holloway side. The intangibles, I believe that's the word, that we're going to have to look at is it's the first time he's fighting at this weight for Holloway. His power did carry. It did carry up from feather to lightweight. We saw that. But we have also saw that his chin did get cracked. It was always Max. You can't take him out. You can't finish him. You can't knock him out. But now that's erased. That's no longer, something he could, lean on, that he's unfinishable. We saw him get finished. So I think that's what they're hoping, that it's going to be a stand-up. Conor's the bigger guy. He's going to land the big shot, the Conor of old. That's what they want to see. Listen, we got convinced that a Gina Carano, who hadn't fought in 17 years, was 100 pounds overweight and was suffering from diabetes, was going to come back and beat Ronda Rousey. They convinced us of that was even possible. How did they convince us of that? Because Ronda Rousey only went off at like minus 500, minus 550. She should have went off at minus 3,000 after watching that, at minus 4,000. But it just shows you, like, as fans, we're easily led by promotion and marketing. And rest assured, between now and when that fight happens, Conor's going to look like a killer. Like, you know what I mean? And I will not be surprised if the money keeps pouring in on the Conor side. That'll give us a better discount on the Holloway side. So we just sit back, let them bet up Conor, and if it matches up right, we get a better price on Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, Holloway got knocked out by Topuria.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm just looking at Tapology here, and he hasn't fought since 2000. McGregor hasn't fought since 2021. His last win was against old ass Cerrone. Whatever. All right. Okay.
With a shoulder, beat him up with his shoulder.
With his shoulder. Yeah. Shoulder KO.
Remember that?
And then Cerrone's grandma comes in the ring and hugs McGregor, not Cerrone. So, okay, we got to circle back. You mentioned World Cup, and you mentioned your World Cup power ratings.
Yes,
so, I want to get a clip of this one. I'm going to turn it over to you. Give us your power rankings for the World Cup.
All right. Here are my top 5 teams heading into this World Cup. Number 1, Spain. They are heads above all else. No argument there. Number 2, Argentina. Behind Argentina, very close, I have Portugal number 3. And the argument, France number 4. Behind France is now England. We had Brazil, but we dropped Brazil a little down and put England above them. So we got Spain, Argentina, Portugal, France, England, followed by Brazil. After Brazil, these teams are all neck and neck. You have Germany, Netherlands, Colombia, Japan. Those teams playing each other would be a coin flip. So that's the top 10 I kind of just shared right there. But the cream of the crop gets cut off at Portugal. One of those 4 teams, power rating wise, seem like it's coming out. Obviously, the odds should reflect that as well. Spain, Argentina, Portugal, or France. Narrow down one of those 4, and you'll probably cash a future.
All right. Love it. What do you have up for everybody on Monday?
All right. Right now, only long-term packages are up, but I do have enough info to put the Steam sheet up within the next 30 minutes. I will have an NBA package as well for this game 1. Was able to confirm there. And then it's just day by day. No UFC to look ahead to. So we got nothing but NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, and of course there's soccer. In fact, there's a 4% soccer that I released that should be up for free at WagerTalk as well. It's in Ireland, so you should be able to get down if you agree. So a lot of good stuff for this week. Best of luck to all.
All right. Thank you very much, Yanni. Appreciate it. Yanni the Greek getting us started here on a Monday. Let's see. You know what? So we gave away a 3-day pass on Friday. So
you did.
We have the winner for that. But I should have brought this up with Yanni, but him saying the Sharps are all over Baltimore, I'm gonna pull an audible. And even though they're not here to answer for themselves, do they care to make things interesting?
You don't agree?
No, I'll take the Rays. So
okay.
I'm gonna go head to head against Yanni's
the Sharps,
the Sharps and the Syndicates.
I love it.
So this will be great. So in the comments section after the show, put Andy Rays and your WagerTalk username, or Sharps Baltimore and your username. Do you agree with Andy or the Sharps? Who's going to win, the Rays or the? Now I could not disagree more on that.
Andy
just the pitching matchup alone.
Andy going head to head with the Syndicates. I like it. So comment below. Are you rocking with the O's and the Sharp money here, or are you going with the Rays and Andy saying, forget that, forget it? Let us know. Include your WagerTalk username. You're entered in to win a free 3-day flex pass. We'll give it away on tomorrow's show. That is just straight money line. So which side do you agree with there? And as you mentioned, shout out to our man Chris. He commented below, Andy, you just keep winning free 3-day flex passes for people. You really go Yankees first 5, head-to-head with our co-founder of WagerTalk, Marco D'Angelo. So he did the correct thing. Chris commented below using his WagerTalk username, and boom, he got picked at random to win a free 3-day flex pass, Andy. One of our favorite things that we do here, and it's not just for the live viewers, it's people on the rewatch as well. If you're rewatching, make sure you comment below. When you include that WagerTalk username, boom, you're entered on in there. So we will remind you by the end of the show, but not right now. After the show is finished. That's the number one part, Andy.
Yeah, guys, make sure you got to put it in the comment section after the show, not in the live comments. After the show, we got to be able to see it, and you got to put your WagerTalk username. We had several people pick Andy on Friday, but they didn't put their WagerTalk username, so I don't know who to give the pass to. So you got to include the handicapper, the play, and what's your WagerTalk username. 3 things got to be in there, so we know who to give the pass to. So. We got a 4% NBA best bet that is up 4-1 run on those. We lost last night on the Pistons team total, but I could not be happier with these NBA plays. Up 21 units in the playoffs on these 4% plays. That is up. I've got an NHL best bet that is up. The client play for NHL is the play of the day on WagerTalk, but we've got another baseball play that is up, and I'm on the fence about WNBA. Will there be a play tonight? Got to tell you, 5-1 to start the WNBA season. I am really, really happy. Anytime you can cash a player prop on a bench player on one of the worst teams in the league,
the best.
It's electric. It's electric. So, full disclosure, mixed bag of results over the weekend. Golf on day 1, I got absolutely cooked. Jan and I rolled the dice with a bunch of plays on round scores to go under. It turns out the course played way tougher than we thought it was going to. On the flip side, we hit a 5% best bet. And as we know in this business, when you hit your 5% best bets, you're looking good. Dan, you had a losing lacrosse weekend, but you hit the one that counted because that was our Let It Ride. So we're now 3 in a row on Let It Ride. So now it's starting to get interesting. No plays in the immediate future for that, but pocket that money, and we will have our 4th play later this week on Let It Ride. We'll figure it out. So, took loss in NBA, but NHL, NBA going pretty good. Oh, hit our NASCAR play. That's an 8-1 auto racing play. NASCAR is so back, baby. NASCAR is so back. We got these new cars.
You were sad for a while, Andy.
Money.
Yeah, you were sad for a while that it was unbettable for a while.
It was. The cars that they had previous years, we just weren't putting out bets. It was too hard. But this year we got the new cars, and it's couldn't be going better. So really happy with that. So, all right, Logan, a quick question. It's not a dumb question, Logan. What does 978967, for example, mean before bet is? So on the boards, and you may not have them in your sports book. You probably don't. Like these numbers refer to the bet number. So when you go into a casino or on some of the other off screens, you'll see that number next to the bet. But on like DraftKings, FanDuel, they don't have those numbers. So when he's telling that, he's telling.
It's the universal, it's the rotation number. It's just so that you can be like, hey, if you go up to a counter and you tell the guy, hey, I want to bet on New York money line. Hey, well, 3 New York teams might be playing. But if you say 955 on the money line, he'll know New York Mets on the money line. But yeah, DraftKings, FanDuel, they don't really deal with the rotation numbers. But if you're in Las Vegas, your ticket writers will thank you if you come prepared with a rotation number. That is for sure. And the line behind you will thank you as well.
I was gonna say it's the people behind you that are appreciative of that. So actually, let's bring in Bill. Bill, you got to have stories about
rotation numbers.
No, rotation number is the exact terminology for that, and that's something that us, I guess, old timers are used to for the last 35 years. Is a rotation number. It was originally the Don Best schedule rotation number of each team. Every day it changes and goes back and forth between 700s, 800s, 900s, and that means like 901's the Yanks, 905's the whatever Tampa Bay, and then 915's the Mets. And you ask for that because it does make for a better experience for the customer, and like you guys said, for the people behind you. So now you walk into a retail shop and it's unbelievable. If you go to a DraftKings and you watch, the teller has to scroll down. Now you're seeing a screen, they're seeing the same screen. It's the same screen on both sides. So you're seeing it, you're actually trying to help them. If you ask for a team and they're scrolling up and down looking for the team name, it slows down the entire transaction. They get less bets in because people's tendencies are to bet late or last minute, so therefore they're going to get shut out, especially on NFL Sundays. They're busy looking for the games and the team names, and it just it's when these new companies came to the country, they decided not to use the rotation numbers. There has to be something financial involved there. I don't know the reason, but that's what my hypothesis is, because why would they not use a rotation number to get more transactions, more tickets through, more volume? There must be some kind of I don't know, but I mean, does the sports books in Las Vegas do that? No. Do they have to pay anything extra? I don't think so. Yesterday they announced that DraftKings in Chicago at Wrigley Field is closing. I was like shocked. I was like, wow. Wrigley Field has an unbelievable DraftKings right in the stadium, and it's on the sidewalk right there, Addison, and you can walk in, and just to see what happens there, and to see that it's going to close because of many different reasons. I actually made a copy. How can a retail location close like that? I was wondering how they can close, and now I realized it's that. I put things into street terms. The shakedowns of this, the country here, they just, try to charge you all these different fees, and the tax rate's as high as 40% for retail. Last year, Illinois added a per tax wager of 25 cents to each bet, going up to 50 cents per wager on certain bets. Like, this is insane. Now a brand new tax was implemented. This put it over the top. I'll read you verbatim. For DraftKings, strike three for Wrigley Field venue may have been the new 10.25% tax implemented by Chicago in January on adjusted gross sports wagering receipts from bets placed online at the retail sportsbook within the city. I mean, honestly, Al Capone wasn't charging this kind of tax over there. What is going on here in Chicago? This is it's in Illinois. It's unbelievable. You know, it's funny. Someone said in the comments, I like it. I love all the weirdos in sweatpants waiting for them to open every morning. Well, let me tell you what that is. They're not weirdos. They're regular knockaround guys. These guys are guys that are wait for sports books to open all over New York, New Jersey, Chicago, places like that, Detroit. Guys that don't want to show the cash in an app. They don't want to have their money on an app for many reasons. Maybe they have liens against them. Maybe they just don't want people to know what they're doing, and maybe they have cash and stuff like. But you read all these things and you kind of you see the different moving parts of sports books. And for DraftKings to close that operation there, though, it really shows me how much money it takes to operate a sports book. Now, trust me, I'm the last person to ever say, you guys know me. I know my wife did with the bucket somewhere. I don't get that collection bucket out too often for the sports books, but to take over 50% in New York State is taking over 50%. However, New York State is the sports betting capital of the United States. Some of these sports books are making more money there than they make in Nevada or New Jersey because there's so much volume. So I know I can go off on all different little areas here, guys. Sorry, I just explaining some of the things that I read every day, and I like the public to know about it because sometimes they don't get to the Twitters or last week. Speaking of which, last week I had 4 million views for the week on Twitter. I get about 10 million views a month between all my socials, not usually all of them on Twitter. But last week, tipping is a really sensitive subject for people. And I talked about a couple different things tipping wise. Um, this guy's betting 25,000 a hand in Baltimore, and he's winning a ton of money. He's up $1 million. He hands some chips to the waitress. He gives some chips multiple times. Winds up giving her 76,000 in tips. And when it was all said and done, she said to him, "Sir, you've given me a lot of money. I really don't worry about it. I'm doing really good." It just so happens that I found out that how much money he was actually gambling and how much he was winning. And now the casino took the money from the girl and made her give it back. They gave it to she had to give it to the casino to keep her job. The casino gave it back to the customer. Like, that's BS in plain English. Like, these things that go on, totally crazy. The guy wanted to tip. So what? You had Kerry Packer here tipping out hundreds of thousands to people, paying people's mortgages and stuff. It's just like, it reminded me of this story from Caesars Atlantic City. Mr. H came in 28 years ago, and he tipped the dealers $2 million over 72 hours, and the casino hated it because they couldn't get the money back. The guy was up only like 3.5 million, and he tipped 2 million of it. Happy as can be, tipped the dealers, and they wanted him out of the building because they can't get the money back. It's in the box. And meanwhile, all the staff, the dealers are all happy. It just really is. These casino corporations, they're the deadly enemy to me. They are I will, very rarely I will ever stick up for them when I see these kind of things. Caesars, terrible corporation, absolutely terrible. They throw people out for winning. If you're a winning sports bettor, they do not want you. Losersonly.com should be on the front of the fountains at the at Caesars Palace, because they do not want winners. So I go after them at any chance, any point I can get. Guys, I'm sorry I kind of bull guarded the show here.
Hey, Bill, no, you get free reign. The comments love it. Keep it going. And don't worry, we still got NBA proper, the folks. Before we give a specific play, though, Bill, one thing that I'm seeing on Twitter, you're hearing in the comments, everyone is saying the true NBA Finals is this Spurs and Thunder series.
Yep.
Any thoughts? Like, is that the winner who comes out of the West, signed, sealed, delivered? Or do the Knicks have a shot? What you saw from the Cavs fight that they had? Just thoughts, I guess, as we move here into the NBA conference finals. And is it really the Western Conference? And then forget it, tear up all your other tickets.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and people are saying that we're down to the final four teams, and which should be two good series, Knicks, Cavs, and like you said, Thunder, Spurs. I could see both of these series probably going 7 games. I mean, I said it on my Fox show the other day. That couple of these series went the Cleveland series versus Detroit went 7 games, and I want them to go 7 games. By the way, I need that because it's more prop opportunities for me. Totally destroying props. Another good week. Wager Talk 24-15 NBA props. 16-4 in the last 20 plays in NBA props. Just ridiculous. 30 points. I actually put more on the units. Of course, you want to play more on the units. So 30 unit profit in NBA props. And thank you for that comment. I missed it, but I seen it come up there for a second. Thank you. Yeah, so it really is something when you see these NBA teams and they're counting out the Knicks and they're counting out Cleveland. And personally, I need the Knicks to go on to the finals, and I need them to win. Or I have them at a big future price, but I need them to win the East anyway. It's been good for me. Like I said, the NBA props, and I did have Detroit in the series, but I still, even though I had Detroit in the series, they're in my losses, 24-15 for the week, plus 10 units, guys, for the week. Another great week. I just say it week after week. Look forward to watching these finals here. I think that people are probably right about the Spurs and the OKC, but I wouldn't count out the underdogs, especially spread wise. A lot of times you'll see these teams step up, and the Knicks were doing some blowout games there versus Philly. So, but then again, yesterday Cleveland blew out Detroit. So, just keep that in mind that these teams are. They're pro guys on the court, and you see these giant spreads and stuff. I can't lay on too many big favorites. I don't even bet. Anyone that follows me at Wager Talk, you know what I bet. I'll bet maybe some totals, but props is the way to go. NBA player props, smaller market. They don't get a lot of eyeballs on them, but yet all the sports books offer them. You have DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, Caesars. They all offer the NBA player props, plus even the books in town they all offer them. Westgate, Circa, South Point. Player props are a big thing because most people just come in. They love to bet their guys over their favorite. It's boring to bet under. But myself, I've actually bet lifetime. I was like 50-50 betting unders and overs, over-unders on player props. And then I went to about like 75% when it came to NFL player props, betting unders, and it's went the exact opposite way. It's unbelievable. I have definitely evolved and got closer to that 50-50. I do bet overs now, especially with these NBA player props. Yesterday I hit a 5%. By the second 5 minutes into the second quarter, I had over 7.5, and yeah. So you could bet overs now. I have evolved as far as that goes. Like I said, 16-4 in the last 20. It's been unbelievable. I'll give you guys a free NBA prop today. I have BetMGM up here. So Devin Vassell, points, assist over 13.5 minus a quarter. I see over 14.5 plus 05. That's okay too. There's a 30-cent difference in there. 1 point. It is off of the even number of 14, but I think it's okay too. I see that at one sports book. Over 13.5 minus a quarter, over 14.5 plus 05. Played 31 minutes in a game last series. Should get the same amount of minutes versus the Thunder here. He's a great spot up shooter, and he should get a lot of open looks here with the defense collapsing on Wemby here. So over. There's your free prop for you guys. Been on fire on these props, like I said, and they got no chance to beat me on props. It's the reason why I get thrown out. It's the reason why I'm thrown out of Caesars. The reason why I'm thrown out of stations. Now I say thrown out. I'm allowed to go on property. Maybe not after this show, but honestly, I couldn't give a shit. Fine, throw me out. Caesars will just make me go after you more. The bane of my existence will be go after you more. Caesars, stations. I can go on and on. Treasure Island. When I walk at Treasure Island, they call surveillance. Like literally, they call surveillance. Krackman Burgers in the building, and they sweat so much over there. And I had a shift manager recently stop in his tracks and point at me, and I pointed back at him, of course. And they didn't 86 me, not yet, anyway. But yeah. By the way, I don't do nothing illegal, nothing wrong. I'm just using my effing brain. That's all I'm doing. I'm just using my brain against these casinos instead of using my information. They're so stupid. Instead of using my information and moving or over moving off it, they say, "Oh no, let's get them off the app. Let's get them." So I'm not allowed to play on the apps. But let me be blunt. You can't stop me. I have too many friends. Now I'm just going to get on the app with somebody else. You're not going to know it's me. And you're going to say, wow, this guy wins. Yeah, maybe we should cut him off. Give him a little more time. We never heard of the name. Well, you never heard of the name. But me, underneath the, a couple filters down, is Bill Krackenberger playing. So it is what it is. You guys want to play cat and mouse? I'll be happy to play with you. Oh, and thanks for the bonus, the new sign-up bonuses, too, when I sign up. Thank you.
Bill, I made something for you here real quick.
Oh,
No.
hey, can you?
Oh, no.
Hold on. We got to make a copy of that. Well, here's what you do. I need you to send me that. I gotta tweet that out. That is beautiful. That was beautiful. Please send me that, Andy. Next time.
I will.
Next time I feel like going after Caesars for something, I still go after Tom Reek, the guy that's the head of the place. Gives an interview to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, tells the customers, he's telling customers through in an interview. And the guy asked him about why you're closing your lounges. The interviewer, the reporter, why are you closing your lounges? He says, they can stop at McDonald's on the way home. I don't have to feed them. This is the guy that's the president of the company, Thomas Reek. That's unbelievable. He should stay far away from a microphone and his $20 million salary. Give it a break. All right, I'm done ranting.
All right, what do you have for everybody on Monday? And I will send that to you on. I'll DM you on
Please
Twitter.
Do. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Dan. See you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for liking, subscribing, listening to me. Go off. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you, Bill. And yes, if you hit that like button and you subscribe, you get wisecracks as well. He has great guests on every single week. So you hit that subscribe button, you'll see when it goes live. He has an MLB best bet up tonight. Krackman was so fired up. He was like, yeah, they'll figure it out. WT.buzz/Krackman is where you can get his best bets. Like you mentioned, 16-4 run that he's been rocking on. NBA this season, over 63 units he's picked up. Tonight in MLB, he's got a best bet rocking tonight, 31-19 over his last 50 in MLB. You can grab that. WT.buzz/Krackman. And, it's always fun when Krackman comes on Monday. He was exceptional today. Yeah, like good info and was fired up. And I think you made his day with the losers.
That was pretty good for right on the spot, just coming up with it for only a couple minutes.
Yeah. And then he had to rush out because they called security on him. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, let's bring on Steve Merrill, someone who has security has never been called on Steve Merrill. I find it hard to believe you've ever been.
That's a good question, Andy. I'm like running through my 52 years of life over my half century. Yeah, I don't think it has. Yeah, I don't think securities. I mean, it's different definitions of what security would be. Yeah. I will tell you my favorite security type moment ever real quick. Because, Redskin fan in the 80s and 90s growing up. And we inherited season tickets from a former player who never wanted to go. And then we just started getting them CO'd into our name. And they had they had a paid parking lot that was always like 80% empty right in front of RFK Stadium, but it was sold out. So we could never get a pass there, but we could always get in there. My dad would always slip the guy like $5 or $10. They'd let us in because once again, it was always like 80% empty. 10 years in, they switched. There was this big heavy set lady who had like a beer hat on and she wouldn't take it. So my dad just drove and she literally threw herself across the hood of the car. I'll never forget that moment. And like, I'm thinking to myself, man, this lady's got some pride. She's not letting us in for that $10 bribe as the lot's going to sit 80% empty the entire game. That was maybe the only security incident that comes to mind.
That's a great story. It makes me just think of, when people take their job really seriously. So that can be that can be our question of the day here. Tell us your favorite this dude or this gal took their job way too serious story in the comments, and we'll read some of the best of them on tomorrow's show. That's a great.
You got to respect that.
No, you have, and that's what I mean. Is like you're always like, oh, here's the hard, oh, here's the try hard, but you got to respect it. Hey, when somebody gets a badge, whether it's a legit badge or not, you wear that thing. You wear that thing.
She ain't taking that. She wasn't taking that Hamilton, man. He might even have been we might even have upped it to an Andrew Jackson. I don't know, but this was like 20, 30. It was like 30, 40 years ago, so.
diving on the
$10
hood
would have been like
is
40 now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Diving on the hood is wild, man. All right, well, let's dive on the hood right here, Steve, and let's talk some baseball, man. Let's talk the White Sox taking on the Mariners. You have two plays that you're going to be breaking down here. I'm intrigued on both of these ones. So let's kick it off here. You're seeing Seattle is pretty sizable favorite here, approaching over 160. If you're shopping around, you can find a little bit better of a price. But thoughts on this one, Steve? And then the other game that we got for you is this Dodgers and Padres in-state rivalry matchup that we have going. But we'll start here with the Mariners and the White Sox.
Yeah, a couple of 9:40 Eastern late night games. We'll start with White Sox at Mariners. We got Schultz against Woo! And the Mariners on the season just 22-26. White Sox 24-22. Don't you dare call them the worst team in the history of baseball anymore. Remember how bad the White Sox were a few years ago? Does look like they're turning the corner. They're 7-3 their last 10. Mariners just 4-6. White Sox 13-7 their last 20. Mariners just 9-11. So not sure I'm in a hurry to lay $1.50, $1.60 with probably who is the better team. I mean, hey, look, two ways to look at it, right? They're due to probably start playing better because I do think they're the better squad. Do we jump on them now? And by the way, Seattle is just 1-4 in extra inning games this year, so a little bit of hard luck there. But they've lost 3 straight. They've scored 7 total runs in those 3 games against the Padres at home this past weekend. Meanwhile, the White Sox do travel after that homestand against the Cubs. You could say that's a little bit of a letdown after back-to-back wins against the in-city rival. But their offensive momentum is for real. They have scored 5 runs or more in 6 straight games. They've scored 6 runs or more in 5 of their last 6. Yes, this quick road trip maybe quashes some of that momentum. The total's around 7.5. It's a very low total. What I'm actually going to look at here is a team total under for the Mariners. Both teams are priced at 3.5. Not in a hurry to fade the White Sox offense, which is red hot. But then again, this travel spot is a concern. But what I'm pretty sure is that the Mariners offense is not in good current form. And Schultz is mediocre, 4.9 ERA. He's coming off a couple below average starts. But the 3 or 4 starts before that, actually the 3 starts prior to those 2 bad starts, he was very strong. In fact, he'd given up, I believe it was like only 3 earned runs in almost 17 innings of work. So I think he actually bounces back here against the Seattle offense, not in good current form. Take a look at the Mariners team total under 3.5, and what once again is also somewhat of a pitcher-friendly park in Seattle.
Towards a prop there as opposed to ISOing in on both of those teams. I like that, Steve. Good breakdown there. This game, though, I mean, the Dodgers offense since losing, I think it was 4 straight games when they were playing the Braves, the Giants. Since that point, Steve, we have a Dodgers team, and okay, you could talk about the opponents, whatever. 40-5, they have outscored since that their opponents since that little slump, I guess we could call it. Now they take on the Padres. This total, likely because you got Yamamoto up on the mound for the Dodgers, 7.5. The Dodgers, this is just a red hot offense taking on a pretty damn hot Padres. This is going to be a great series here, Steve. Thoughts on the series and obviously this game tonight? Anything that you're looking to eye to bet in this one?
Yeah, 1 week ago, last Monday, we talked about the Giants and Dodgers, and I talked about how the Dodgers were underperforming after the hot start. They'd come back down to earth, and they were kind of a little bit below where they should be for the season. Well, they dropped that game 9-3. They dropped the next game 6-2, but then they won the 2 final games 9-2, and as you mentioned, offense is kicking into form. And one thing I did point out last week, and it's kind of what I talked about with Seattle, is when teams struggle, it's usually offensive momentum. Because think about it, everyone talks about the starting pitchers, which go once every 4 or 5 games. They only go half a game at that. So they play like half a game every 5. And then the bullpens are always a mix and mash. You never know who you're going to get. But the one consistency for the most part, you get the same 7, 8, even 9 guys in the offensive lineup every day. And it does ebb and flow. The Dodgers were not in good current form. When they had those 4 straight losses last week, they scored 3 runs or less in all 4. They scored 2 runs or less in 3 of the 4. And now during this 5-game win streak, they've scored 4 runs or more in every game. And they've scored 31 runs the last 3 games against the Angels. It's a quick trip back home. Not much of a road trip back home, obviously staying in the same city. And they're taking on a division rival, an in-state rival. I don't see them overlooking the Padres here, traveling from L.A. now down to San Diego. San Diego also had excellent offensive form, though. They put up 15 runs the last 2 games against the Mariners, as I mentioned earlier. By the way, the Dodgers are now 29-18 on the season. That's right below 62%. That's exactly 100 wins for the year. So they're still a little bit below what their projected win total was getting over that 100. Padres at 28-18, a half game back. I think LA is still the better team. And by the way, I love Ohtani. I think he's the greatest all-around baseball player ever. Drop that in the comments below, your thoughts on that. Look, Babe Ruth was the best all-around player, and he's the only pitcher hitter that you can really compare to Ohtani. But Ohtani hits as well as Ruth, or almost as well. Pitches better than Ruth. Greatest all-around player I've ever seen. Yet he's not even my favorite Japanese player on the Dodgers, Yamamoto. Man, what he did in the World Series last year was insane. He won 3 of the 4 games, including Game 7 with no rest after winning Game 6. And he's on the bump tonight. 2.5 ERA last year, 3.6 this year. He has regressed a bit in his last few outings. He's gone 6 innings the last 2 outings, but he's given up 8 earned runs, 11 hits. So I don't think anything is wrong. He's most likely going to come back down to earth. But with 2 hot offenses, I don't mind a little look at the over here. Let's take a look at Padres and Dodgers to keep the offensive rolling. And because we do have Yamamoto and King on the mound who have good overall numbers, it's a very reasonable total at 7.5 under -20. I would hold out, though. Wait until near first pitch. You might get a 7 over. 7 is a very key number. I lean over 7.5. Like it even more if you can find 7 over -120 by first pitch tonight at 9:40 Eastern on Monday.
I love it, Steve, and I'm glad you mentioned the over there. I know some commenters hate when I throw in my 2 cents, but that was the way that I was looking at this game. So I love it when you confirm, because one thing I like looking at with pitchers sometimes is how they match up against lineups, how they match up. And Yamamoto, for all that he has done in his career, 1-2, 4 starts against the Padres. His ERA in those games over 6.38, 4 homers, 13 runs in 18 1/3 innings. So I was just waiting for Steve to say, hey, let's look towards this over. But like Steve said, I think you can wait on it a little bit. You may even want to swoop in live if these pitchers do start hot, because King's pretty good as well. So I know some folks hate when I give my 2 cents.
I love it, Dan.
I like this one. I like this one, Steve. So let's ride together, my friend.
No, I love when you chime in, because that is something I actually forgot to mention, was that he has not fared well against the Padres. So thank you for pointing that out. You're exactly right. 6.38 ERA in 18 innings of work over the years. And last year he had 2 outings, I believe, against them. He gave up 11 hits, 5 runs in just 12 innings. So not terrible, but, once again, below average compared to against other opponents. And it's a kind of a wait and watch tonight for me, because he has not been sharp the last couple outings. Really, the last 3 outings, he's gone 6 innings or less. And this is a guy that routinely can go 7+ innings. We saw him go back-to-back in the World Series. It makes sense, right? He's only human. I will say this, though. 16 strikeouts, 1 walk the last 2 games. Can't pitch much better from that perspective. And he still has an ERA of over 4 in those 2 outings. So, yeah, we'll keep a close eye on Yamamoto. Make sure he's not maybe wearing down.
Steve, we appreciate you giving us the time. We're going to talk a little NBA. If you want the full NBA breakdown, check it out. We're going to add it to this video. You can check out Steve's breakdown on Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. It's posted right this very second. YouTube insiders as well here at WagerTalk Insiders. You get it even earlier than some of the other folks here, so reasons to subscribe. But, Steve, before we talk NBA, what are you rocking with tonight, man? I know we talked some MLB action. What are we looking to bet tonight, man?
Yeah, I do have a strong best bet in Game 1 tonight between the Thunder and Spurs. It's on the side. And by the way, in the video, I give you a free play on the total. And I will point out that the total has moved a bit today. It had opened 218, was up to 219.5 last night when I did the video. We're now seeing 221.5 with that Thunder Spurs total. And I think the reason probably, Dan, is because Jalen Williams, Jalen, the better Jalen Williams, is expected to play tonight. He was listed as available. I mentioned in the video. It was already kind of known. But what's interesting is the point spread has not moved. It's held steady at 6.5 yesterday and today. So maybe there's just some sharp money on the over. I give you my take, my free play on the over-under in the video, along with several player props. The Chet Holmgren, Andy will be happy to hear that. I talk about Chet Holmgren. I think he's an interesting guy in this series. If you look at the regular season matchups, I won't give it away, though. You got to watch the video. But I don't give out the side in the video, but I do have a strong best bet on the side tonight for my clients in Game 1. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. You can get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. And then if Dan's available after Wager Talk today, we're going to knock out the Knicks Cavaliers Game 1 video for $5 Tuesday. It's free video Tuesday, and that line is on the move as well. I'll talk more about that in the video, but the Knicks have already gone from 6 to 7. We've also seen the total go up a couple points, so some heavy money coming in already on the Eastern Conference Finals for Tuesday.
And you want to get it sooner than anyone, make sure you are subscribed. Steve, you know I always got time for you, brother, so I'll see you right after the show.
It's a date.
Let's get that up for the folks. Steve, watch out. Make sure no one's jumping on the hood for you, brother. Always love talking with you. Great spot here, man. And we'll see you next week. Best of luck till then, man.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. WT.buzz/SM. And yeah, we're going to have that Cavs breakdown coming your way here on the channel by the end of the day. So hit that subscribe button and you'll see when it goes live. And Andy, with all that we have done on the show here, there was Cobb versus the debates in the
Cobb
chat
versus
today,
Ruth. Yeah. Why didn't he become
a good line? This is a good line. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah. So, all right, we can break down. I'll give you guys some plays on both of the games tonight in NHL. We'll do that for all around the world here. Let me pull up my write-ups here. You'd think I'd know them off the top of my head, but because I'm a bad employee. All right, here we go. We'll start with which one am I starting with, Dan? Canadian Sabres.
We got let's do Habs Sabres. Yeah.
Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. First period over 1.5. They've gone over this in every single game this series. The last 2 games, they've had 5 goals in the first period. These offenses are getting off to really, really quick starts. Last 2 games, the totals have landed on 9 and 11. The goaltending has not been good for either side. It just feels like one goalie just gets ice cold and gives up a lot. And I think you're going to see another first period over. So we'll take this to go 7 for 7 on the series, first period over 1.5. And for Thunder versus Spurs, listen, you guys, I'm not going to break any ground with some of these stats. Number 2 and number 3 in field goal percentage in the playoffs. Number 1 and number 6 in field goal percentage. Defense, Spurs number 2 in pace. Thunder number 9. Thunder haven't played in a week. Spurs got to be feeling great. They didn't put many miles on those legs in the last game. I don't think any starter played more than 30 minutes. So you guys already know, you guys know this stuff. So I'm just going to give you a gut feeling that I got here, Dan. These teams know each other very, very well, but that was in the regular season. Now we're in the postseason. I think this first quarter is going to be a very physical, what are they going to let us get away with? And I don't think the refs want this to get out of control. I think there's going to be a lot of fouls. I think they're not going to, I think they're going to try and muscle around Wemby, and they're just going to see, hey, how far can we go? And the refs are going to say, you're not going to get away with that. I think they're going to try and hammer Shea. They're not going to get in these little ticky-tacky fouls that put them on the line. I think this first quarter gets drawn out quite a bit. And don't be surprised if both teams are in the bonus. And that is going to mean an over on this one. Both these teams can score. I know they're both great defensively, but I actually think their offense is better than their defense. So I think there's going to be a lot of points, and don't be surprised if there's a lot coming from the free throw line inside the last couple minutes. So gut feeling, I think the feeling out process causes a pretty high scoring first quarter, and the Thunder 4-2 to the over in the playoffs. So in the first quarter. So that's how I'm going to look at that game. So let's see, what else do we have? Prop line just went up, guys. We got a same game parlay that we go over in that one. We got another play of the day. We also got some really good props over there. We're doing something interesting with K props. I'm taking teams that are striking out a lot recently, and we've been looking at pitchers that face them and taking their over K props. It's been working really well. And then we take a look at a team that is not striking out very much. We take an under. So for example, Toronto Blue Jays, not striking out, 5.6 strikeouts per game in the last 3. So we take a look at some of those pitchers. Bill was talking about the tipping thing and like the casino keeping it. Something similar happened to me when I was in my 20s and I was waiting tables. I'll never forget this. So I waited on this big group from Jack Daniels. There was like 5 of us servers. There was like 50 people in there, and they get done with the bill, and these companies have a set amount for these, like, you know, they'll budget $5,000, $10,000, whatever. Well, they didn't even get near their budget. So the guy was like, oh, just like keep the rest for your tip. And it was thousands of dollars. Now we had to split it, but it went from like a pretty good night to one of the best nights ever. And our manager was so pissed because he was like, no, this is too much money. And it was like, I was like, excuse me, they have spoken.
Too much money.
Jack
for
Daniels
who?
has spoken. And he was like, he was arguing with them to not tip us.
What?
And
what do they care?
And I was like, what? Because he was jealous. He was.
Oh, because the manager doesn't get tipped out. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So he's sitting there watching these 5 surfers make $8,000 on this one party. And then the restaurant kept it on hold for a week. Wouldn't release it to us.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, I'll never forget that. So I have been a part of that. Not at that scale, but I have been a prop or a part of something like that. So dirty, man. So dirty. Rob, I'm telling you, man, when you're a restaurant manager, I've never been a restaurant manager, but they work so hard. They're not paid very much. And servers are so spoiled, and so are bartenders, and they have to listen to the servers and bartending bitch. And then on good nights, they make 10 times what the manager, makes on a daily basis. It's tough. It can be really tough when the manager has to put in 70 hours, barely making a living wage. And here's this little shit waiting on Jack Daniels who's going to walk with 5 G's for 3 hours of work.
But let's also be real. The bad nights when you're serving are awful. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A bad night serving, hell of a lot worse than a bad night managing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, I've been there, done that. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Hit the like button. And don't forget, right after the show is over, leave a comment with your WagerTalk username. It's Andy versus the Syndicates. Are the Syndicates going to win with Baltimore, or is Andy going to win with the red-hot Tampa Bay Rays? I don't know, Dan. What's your thought on that? The Rays are on fire now, and like Yanni said, they're not going to end up, with this winning percentage. But right now, I think you just ride them. Remember what we were doing with the Dodgers? We were taking their team total under. We get a few wins, and then you get off of them when you see that their bats are starting to come. Baseball is just such a roller coaster, and you got to find these streaks. I can't imagine trying to get in front of Tampa right now.
Yeah, and they're also facing a pitcher who hasn't been particularly great in Baltimore. So a guy that's over a 5 ERA that he's coming in with. So if they can get to him early, does that momentum carry on through? Andy, it wouldn't probably be a game that I would have ISO'd out simply because you figure the Rays can't keep getting away with this. But like you said, in baseball, ride some streaks. Yeah, I like it. Comment below. Is it Rays and Andy, or is it Baltimore and the Syndicates, the Sharps? Use your WagerTalk username, and you can do it in just about 5 seconds once we sign off, and you'll be entered in to win a free 3-day flex pass. Also, while you're down there, let us know. You're funny. People took their job too seriously, and we'll share some of those tomorrow.
I got to give you credit, Dan. The way you pulled out that stat about the Dodgers, I scored 45, leaving out that 31 of them came against the Angels.
Yeah, I alluded to the fact that you can say what you want about the competition, but yeah, 31 of the 40 didn't come against the game.
That is a professional. You can say what you want about I will say what I want about the Angels.
You can find stats. Yeah, you can find stats that make your handicap sound good, and that's what I was looking to do, Andy.
It's a job well done, Dan. All right, let's have a big Monday tomorrow, $5 Tuesday. Once again, I will have a tennis play up at 8:00 Eastern that goes off tomorrow morning. I'll be able to put that thing up at 8:00 tonight. It starts at 5 a.m. our time. So we'll get that locked in and get $5 Tuesday started off with a winner, hopefully. So thanks very much. Good luck on your bets, and we will see everyone tomorrow.